So this is the 2011 Leaving Cert Ordinary Level Paper 2. We're looking at question number 1. The points A, which is 6, 1 here, and B, which is 2, minus 1 here, are shown on the diagram. Part A says find the equation of the line AB. So if we joined A and B and then extended that line infinitely, the question is what would the equation of that line be? Okay, well, we'll have a look. There's some formulas here from the tables book that I've copied in that give the slope of the line, the length of the line, the equation of the line, and so on. So we're looking for the equation of the line. So it's going to be one of these two formulas here. One of these two. Okay. So these are the two equations for a line. So let's see, what information are we given? Well, we're given 2 points. Okay. Now, if you're given 2 points, you're able to find the slope of the line, which is one of the things you need, m and m in both equations here. And for the top equation here, you need m and you need x1, y1, which is any point on the line. Now we have 2 points on the line, a and b, so we could certainly use this. This formula here, you need the value c, which is the y-intercept, which we don't have any information about as of yet. So I'm going to use this formula here. The top one. Okay, so I'm going to use y minus y1 equals m bracket x minus x1, but I got to find m first. So to find m, the slope, I'm going to use this formula. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to label the points. I'll call this x1, y1. I'll call this point B, can be x2, y2. I'm just going to sub those values in now for m. So the slope is equal to y2, which is minus 1, minus y1, which is 1, over x2, which is 2, minus x1, which is 6. And I work this out in the calculator in your head, so that's minus 2 over minus 4, which is a half. So the slope of the line joining these two is a half. So I'll just draw the line in just so you can visualize the line. That's the line there. Okay. So the slope is a half, and now I have my m value. I know point x1, y1. I've already marked that. So now I'm going to go to the formula y minus y1 equals m bracket x minus x1. Okay, so that's y minus, my y1 value is number 1, is equal to m, that's an m there. My m I just worked out is a half. You can write it as 0.5 if you like. Bracket x minus the x1 value, which is 1. Okay, so now I just got to tidy this up a little bit. Got y minus 1 is equal to, I multiply this out, a half by x is a half x, a half by negative 1 is negative a half. And now I just tidy up a little bit. I can bring all this stuff maybe over to the left. So I will have y minus 1 still on the left. When I bring this over, it becomes minus a half x. And when I bring the minus a half over, it becomes plus a half. And I'm left with nothing on the right, that's 0. So now what can I combine? Well, I can combine the minus 1 and the plus a half. They're both ordinary numbers, so I can combine both of them together. So that will give me y minus 1 plus a half. Well, y minus a half x, I can leave that as it is, y minus a half x. And then minus 1 plus a half, well, that's minus a half. And that's equal to 0. And you can leave your answer like this. They haven't asked us to write it in any particular format, so that's fine. You've got your y minus a half x minus a half equals 0. Okay, part B then says the line AB crosses the y-axis at C. Find the coordinates of C. Now you can see from the diagram you're expecting C probably is minus 2, it looks like. But that's from drawing the line, so that may not be as accurate as you need. So if we're going to do it in another way, we can do the following. So we can rearrange this equation here into the format y equals mx plus c, into that shape, and then whatever c is will be the formula. So let's just do that. Y oh, I just realized I have a mistake there. See if you can spot the mistake. Yes, so my mistake is here. If you see this here, this 1 here should actually be a 6. I put in the number 1. That should have been 6, x1. So let's just fix that mistake down through. It's good practice to do this kind of thing anyway, because this often happens in an exam situation. So a half by minus 6 instead of minus a half, that's going to be let me see, where's the row? So rub that out, and rub that out, Okay, so a half by minus 6 is actually minus 3. So that's here going to be plus 3. And then that will be minus 1 plus the 3 is actually minus 2. Okay, and now when I rearrange this, so I've got y minus a half x, I'll just write it out again, minus 2 equals 0. If I bring both of these terms over, in other words, if I bring this term over, it becomes a negative, it becomes positive rather, and bring this term over, it also changes sign. So what I'm left with is y is equal to a half x sorry, this here, minus 1 plus 3 is actually plus 2. That was plus 2. So when you bring this over, it becomes minus 2. So there you go. Y is equal to a half x minus 2. So we can see here that the minus 2 is in the C position of this format here. So the coordinates of the point C, is 0, negative 2. That's the y-intercept, which we can see from the diagram as well. Okay, finally, part C. Find the ratio of the length of AB over the length of AC and give your answer in the form P over Q, where P and Q are whole numbers, so give your answer as a fraction. So the length of AB over the length of AC. Okay, well, we have a formula for the length of a line, which is this one here. The length of the line PQ, this bit here is from the tables book. The length of the line PQ between any 2 points is given by this formula here. Okay, so AB, which is 6, 1, and 2 minus 1. Let's just write them down. 6, 1, and 2 minus 1. And then the point C, which we just found, is 0, negative 2. So that's our A, B, and C. So we're going to find the length between A and B first, between these 2 points. So, and we have to write this as a ratio. So it's going to be the square root of and I'm taking this from the formula in the tables book, x2 minus x1. So I can call x2, I could call this, let's call B x2, y2. So this is x2, 2 minus 6. And then minus 1 minus this one. So that's going to be my AB. It's all going to be over the square root of again using the same formula. This time it's going to be for AC. So this time I'll leave this as x2, y2, and this time I'll call, I'll leave A as x1, y1, and I'll call this C this time x2, y2. So we're going to have 0 minus 6, and then minus 2, minus 1. So let's see, what does that give us? You can do this in the calculator. 2 minus 6 is minus 4 squared is 16. And minus 2 squared is 4 over. Here you got 36 minus 9. What does that give us? That gives us root 12 over root 27. And we're going to see, does that simplify? And that gives us 2/3. So you can just do that bit in your calculator. So 2/3, which is what it simplifies to. So this is our answer in the form P over Q, and that's the end of the question.